Hello, all of you. Today we will talk about the screening of uh, tDNA insertional mutant lines of Arabidopsis thaliana. And these tDNA insertional mutant lines of Arabidopsis thaliana is important for identifying the function of a particular gene. So these tDNA insertional mutant lines are generally uh, maintained, or you can say is generally stored in different Arabidopsis centers, and the most important Arabidopsis center is Arabidopsis Biological Resource Center, which generally maintain different types of or different tDNA insertional mutant lines of different genes, right? So if you want to study the function of a particular gene, then you can you for that you will have to first go to the site of Arabidopsis Biological Resource Center or Nottingham Arabidopsis Stock Center, and from there you will have to search whether the tDNA insertional mutant line of your gene of interest is generally present, or they can provide you that tDNA mutant lines or not. And if it is possible for them, then they will charge you some fees for this. And if you will give the fees for that Arabidopsis mutant lines, then they will send you the seeds of that mutant lines to your address. So after that, what will be your work? Your work will, uh, will be to validate whether they have sent you the exact mutant lines or tDNA insertional mutant lines of your gene of interest or not. So for that, what method you generally do, or what method you generally use there, you will use PCR, that is polymerase chain reaction. So here I would like to explain what is tDNA insertional mutant lines. So here there is the normal gene, that is from A to B, right? So suppose its length is 100,000 base pair, right? And now if we want to mutate it by inserting tDNA between A to B, so now if you insert tDNA here, and the length of the tDNA is around 15 to 30 kb. Now what will happen? The length of A to B will increase around 15 to 30 kb, right? And as a result of that, its main function, or you can say main property of this gene, will be hampered or compromised. So by this way, tDNA insertional mutant line is generally developed. So from when you will get the seeds from these centers, that is Arabidopsis Biological Resource Center, then your duty or first thing you will have to do is that whether they have sent you a correct mutant lines or not, or whether they have sent you heterozygous mutant lines or homozygous mutant lines. So here in heterozygous mutant lines, you know that there should be two homologous chromosomes, right? And in only one chromosome of the homologous chromosome, you are supposed to have the insertional mutant genes, right? tDNA insertional mutant genes. But in another chromosome, you are supposed to have normal genes or wild type genes. But in homozygous mutant lines, you are supposed to uh, tDNA insertion mutant genes in both the homologous chromosomes. So that's why homozygous mutant lines will be the ideal lines to study the effect of the particular genes, or to study the phenotype of a particular gene, because in this homozygous mutant line, in both the homologous chromosome, you will find the mutant genes, right? So to get or to screen the wild type heterozygous mutant line or homozygous mutant line from the seedlings procured from ABRC, we generally use PCR method. And in PCR method, what we generally need, we need, first thing we generally need is the genomic DNA extracted from all these seedlings, right? And second thing we will need is 2 pairs of primers. So first pairs are supposed to amplify the region from A to B, that is of the size of around 100 base pair, and second pair of primers should amplify the region L1 and B. Here L1 region is generally present in the tDNA, right? So we will get amplified product of L1 to be only those species in which tDNA insertional mutation has happened, or only those lines in which tDNA insertional mutation has happened, right? So in PCR, what we generally do, we first prepare the reaction mixture in which we will add the genomic DNA of each seedlings present here, and after that we will add 2 pairs of primer. First should amplify first pair of primer should amplify the length from A to B, that is around 100 base pairs, 1000 base pairs, and second pair of primer should amplify the length or the region between L1 and B, and here L1 is present in the tDNA. L1 region should present in the tDNA, right? Now after PCR we will get amplified product, and amplified product will be loaded in the different wells in the agarose gel, and after performing agarose gel electrophoresis, we will get different banding pattern from the amplified product. And after analyzing the banding pattern of the amplified product, we can say that yes, this plant is wild type lines, this plant is heterozygous mutant lines, or other plants is homozygous mutant lines. So now we will learn how, by analyzing the banding pattern in the agarose gel, we can differentiate between wild type heterozygous mutant line and homozygous tDNA insertional mutant lines in Arabidopsis thaliana. Sorry. So in case of wild type lines, we are supposed to get only one band, and that is due to the amplification from the region of A to B, and that is of the size of 1000 base pair, because in this case, in wild type lines, in both the homologous chromosome, that particular gene is non-mutated, right? Non-mutated means no tDNA has been inserted between A to B region, right? So that's why by primer A and primer B, we will get the amplified product, and as a result of that we will get one band here. But with primer L1 and B, we will not get any band. Why? Because in both the homologous chromosome in wild type lines, we are we are not supposed to have mutant genes. So no tDNA has been inserted in both the homologous chromosomes in gene A to B. That's why this region is not present, and that's why L1 and B will not be amplified, and as a result of that we will not get any band here. So if only one band we are getting at 1000 base pair, then we can say that yeah, this plant is wild type lines, right? Now in case of heterozygote mutant lines or heterozygous mutant lines, in one chromosome of the homologous chromosome, normal or wild type gene is generally present, or non-mutated gene is generally present. That's why we are getting band by the amplification of A to B, or 100 base pair band we are getting here, same as wild type lines, right? But with that band we are also getting another amplified product due to the presence of mutated genes in another chromosome of the homologous chromosome, right? And that band is due to the amplification from L1 region to B region, right? So if from the genomic DNA extracted from a particular plant, by using these two pairs of primer, if we are getting two bands, one band resembles the wild type lines and another band resembles the length of L1 to B, or L1 is the region present in the tDNA region present in the tDNA inserted with the A to B, then we can say that yes, these plants are heterozygous mutant lines. Third possibility is that we can get homozygous mutant line. And how we can discriminate homozygous mutant lines from these wild type and heterozygous mutant line? In homozygous mutant line, we will get only one band, and that band will be due to the amplification of the region L1 and B. And as you know that in homozygous mutant line, in both the homologous chromosome, we are supposed to have mutant genes or tDNA insertional mutant genes. So that's why we will get the amplified product of L1B, and here you can see the band which generally at the same position of the band which is present in the heterozygous mutant line, right? But by by using the primer A and B, we are not getting any amplified product here. So that's why we can say that if we are getting these kind of binding pattern from the genomic DNA extracted from any plants by using these pair of primers, then these plants are homozygous mutant line. So here question comes that if we are using primer A and B, why we are not getting the amplified product or bigger amplified product in the agarose gel, right? So the answer is that if a particular tDNA inserted between the region of A to B gene, and due to the insertion of these tDNA, its size increases a lot, right? Its length of this uh, A, A to B, length of A to B region increases a lot, right? Because the length of the tDNA is around 15 to 30 kb, and no Taq polymerase is generally present, or normal Taq polymerase don't have much efficiency to amplify that much length of the DNA. So that's why we are not getting any band in homozygous mutant line from A to, due to the amplification of the region of A to B inserted with tDNA, and this is all about the screening of wild type heterozygous mutant line and homozygous mutant line in F1 generation seedlings, which we generally get from Arabidopsis Biological Resource Center. I hope this presentation will be helpful for you for screening your mutant lines, which you generally procure from ABRC or Nottingham Arabidopsis Stock Center. So thanks to all of you.